other saxophonists, I felt like you said, that was the end. I mean, it was. I haven't played the saxophone seriously since 1998 in the fall, right? That was it. I stopped because I realized what I was up against. But also at the same time, I wouldn't have thought I was so good at the piano. Like I said, I hadn't had really great training until I got to college. And then within a couple of years of working hard and having good teachers, I started feeling good about calling myself a pianist. And now, if you ask me what I do, I'd say I'm a musician, because I do. I perform the piano and I compose music. So you're right. If I had in 1998 in the fall, I was no longer a saxophonist. I certainly didn't yet feel I was a composer, and I wasn't a pianist, so I didn't know what my identity was professionally. But now I do. Wow. So in my undergrad, I had 4 teachers. I studied with Eric Santos, Bright Sheng, Susan Botti, and William Bolka. And Susan is no longer there. She's at Manhattan School now. Okay. And I guess Bill Bolton has retired too. But I had, one teacher each year. I took a year off between undergrad and master's degree, and then I studied again with Bright Sheng for 1 year, and Karen Tanaka was a visiting professor in my second year of master's, and I studied with her. And so every teacher had their own, honestly had their own sets of compositional values and their own ideas about what young composers should be doing and how they should be developing. So in the beginning, it was a little bit almost confusing, especially when I was youngest, because I thought I was going to show up and someone was going to show me how to be a professional musician, just like hand it to me and say, this is it, do this and you're golden. Of course, that's not how it works, but I didn't yet understand that each teacher would show you something new, or maybe even reveal something about yourself to you, and show what you were good at and show what you're not so good at and help you develop. I had wanted to study abroad for as much for the cultural experience as for the musical experience, just because I was a sort of a curious person and was interested in discovering new cultures and languages. So I wanted to study in Europe. I had made connections with a few different teachers, one in Spain, one in the Netherlands, and then with Betsy Jolas, eventually, with whom I eventually studied. I knew about her and I knew what kind of teaching she could offer, and I was really attracted to it, and to the French aesthetic and different way of thinking about writing music. So after I had graduated already, and I was living in Philadelphia, where I met you, that first year when I met you, and I was working as a freelance musician, and I tried to get a scholarship. There was a private foundation that provided scholarships for musicians to study, American musicians to study in Europe. So I tried to get one, and I had set up the connection with Betsy, and she agreed to take me on as a private student. She had already retired from the Paris Conservatory, but she is a born teacher. I mean, she's a composer, but she's a teacher, and she loves teaching, and she gets something out of it herself. I mean, it's very obvious. The experience really affected me. Like musically, in my thinking of how composers think, how new music can sound, how new music can be written, but also culturally, like living in a different place, in a different linguistic culture and everything. That made a huge impact on me. Yeah. It was 2004. Yeah, I think I was second prize, and they had said we're going to give the commission to somebody else. It was a commissioning competition, and you just sent in pieces, and they said they wanted to commission a piece for any instrument plus piano, because they wanted it to be usable for recitals, like basically in MTNA kind of situations. And I'd gotten second place, and they said, you know what we're going to do is we're going to give the first place commission to this guy, I don't remember, someone else, and then next year we won't even hold the competition, we'll just give it to you. Kind of like Curtis later on, karma. So I thought it sounded good. And then at the same time, there was a performance at Michigan by the symphony band of my first band piece. And in the audience was Donald Cinta. He was at the concert. And afterwards, I had gotten to know him a little bit because I had accompanied students, but still I was a little bit in awe of the guy. And I saw him in school later on, like the week after, and he said, can we get lunch sometime? And I thought, wow, what's going on? Anyway, he wanted to have lunch so he could discuss the idea of commissioning a piece of music, again in someone's memory. He wanted a piece in memory of a relative of his who had passed away. And as a result, I was able to write one piece that would fulfill both of these commissioning requirements, you could say. Obviously, Cinta wanted a piece with saxophone, that was the point, and the Michigan Music Teachers Association wanted a piece with something plus piano, hence sax plus piano.